During Game 3 of the heated series between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the San Diego Padres, what began as a routine baseball play quickly transformed into one of the most controversial moments of the season. The incident unfolded in just a matter of seconds, but its impact immediately sent shockwaves throughout Dodger Stadium and across the baseball world. Everything started when Shohei Ohtani stepped to the plate in another crucial at-bat. The Japanese superstar looked locked in from the very first pitch. As soon as the ball left the pitcher's hand, Ohtani recognized the location perfectly and unleashed one of his trademark swings. The ball shot sharply through the infield, giving him an excellent opportunity to reach first base safely. The moment the bat met the ball, Ohtani exploded out of the batter's box with incredible acceleration. His elite speed has always been one of the most dangerous weapons in baseball, and once again he was charging toward first base at full speed. Fans inside the stadium rose to their feet, expecting another routine infield hit from the Dodgers superstar. But what happened next stunned everyone. As Ohtani approached first base, the Padres' first baseman appeared to move away from what many believed was a normal defensive position. Instead of focusing entirely on receiving the incoming throw while keeping his foot anchored on the bag, he shifted directly into Ohtani's running lane. In an instant, the two players collided. The contact looked violent and awkward. Ohtani's stride was interrupted just as he reached the base, causing his lower body to tangle with the defender. Unable to avoid the obstacle at such high speed, he completely lost his balance. The Dodgers star crashed hard onto the dirt beside first base. His shoulders slammed into the ground first before the rest of his body followed. One of his legs twisted underneath him as momentum carried him forward, creating an extremely uncomfortable landing that immediately raised concerns about a possible injury. For several long seconds, Ohtani remained on the ground. Instead of immediately getting back to his feet, he placed one hand on the dirt while carefully reaching toward his leg, clearly checking whether anything had been seriously damaged. The atmosphere inside Dodger Stadium instantly changed from excitement to complete silence as thousands of fans watched with concern. Inside the Dodgers dugout, players reacted almost immediately. Several teammates jumped onto the top step, while coaches and members of the medical staff sprinted onto the field to evaluate Ohtani's condition. Given his enormous importance to the organization, every second felt critical. After all, Ohtani is not simply another everyday player. He is the Dodgers' biggest offensive weapon, a frontline starting pitcher, and the centerpiece of the franchise's championship ambitions. Any injury, especially one involving his legs or throwing side, could dramatically affect the remainder of the season. Following a discussion among the umpiring crew, the officials reviewed the play and ultimately ruled that the Padres' first baseman's actions warranted an immediate ejection from the game. The decision drew loud applause from Dodgers fans, but it did little to calm the emotions surrounding the incident. Many observers argued that simply removing the player from the game was not enough considering the potential danger of the collision. Television analysts repeatedly replayed the footage from multiple camera angles, debating whether the defender had intentionally moved into Ohtani's path or whether the contact was simply the result of an unfortunate baseball play. The debate quickly spread across social media. Clips of the collision went viral within minutes, with thousands of baseball fans sharing slow-motion replays while expressing outrage over what they believed was an unnecessary and reckless play. Many insisted that MLB needed to send a stronger message to protect its players, especially stars who face tremendous physical demands throughout the season. After the game, Ohtani addressed the incident publicly. Normally known for remaining calm and avoiding controversy, the Dodgers superstar spoke more directly than fans are accustomed to hearing. He explained that the collision crossed a line and deserved a thorough review by Major League Baseball. "That kind of play deserves a stronger punishment," Ohtani said. I believe the league should investigate it carefully and take whatever action is necessary to protect players from dangerous situations like this. His comments immediately became one of the biggest talking points across baseball. Because Ohtani rarely criticizes opponents publicly, many interpreted his statement as evidence that he genuinely believed the collision had gone beyond normal baseball competition. Support for Ohtani poured in from fans around the league. Many argued that he had every right to voice his frustration, saying the Padres players' actions appeared to create an unnecessary risk of serious injury. Some even pointed out that if Ohtani had suffered damage to his leg or shoulder, it could have affected not only his offensive production but also his ability to pitch for the remainder of the season. For the Dodgers, the stakes could hardly be higher. Ohtani represents far more than just statistics. He is the face of the franchise, one of baseball's biggest global stars, and a central figure in the team's pursuit of another World Series championship. Losing him to injury would dramatically alter both the Dodgers' lineup and their championship hopes. Baseball analysts also weighed in after reviewing the footage. Several former players suggested that Major League Baseball must carefully examine plays involving potential obstruction or unnecessary contact around the bases. They warned that if incidents like this receive only minimal punishment, players around the league may begin believing that dangerous collisions carry little consequence beyond an in-game ejection. As MLB officials continue reviewing video evidence and umpire reports, many believe further disciplinary action could still be possible. Whether additional penalties are ultimately handed down or not, The incident has once again sparked a league-wide discussion about player safety, sportsmanship, and the responsibility every defender has to avoid creating unnecessary risks during routine baseball plays. One thing is certain, the collision involving Shohei Ohtani became far bigger than a single play. It has now become one of the most talked about controversies of the season and could influence how similar situations are handled by Major League Baseball moving forward. Following the controversial collision, attention quickly shifted away from the field and toward Major League Baseball's disciplinary office. Although the umpires had already taken action during the game, many believed the incident was far from over. League officials were expected to launch a detailed review to determine whether additional punishment would be necessary. MLB investigators would carefully examine every available camera angle before reaching a final decision. Rather than relying solely on the live ruling, the league could study the defender's positioning, the path of the baseball, the timing of the contact, and whether the first baseman made a legitimate baseball play or intentionally created unnecessary contact with Ohtani. Every frame of the collision would likely be analyzed in slow motion. Beyond video evidence, officials could also review the written report submitted by the umpiring crew while interviewing players, coaches, and team personnel who witnessed the play firsthand. Their goal would be to determine one crucial question. Was the collision simply an unfortunate baseball accident, or did the defender intentionally place Ohtani in danger? If the league concluded that the contact was deliberate, the consequences could become much more severe than a simple ejection. A multi-game suspension would immediately become a possibility, along with a substantial financial penalty. Such discipline would not be designed solely to punish one player. More importantly, it would reinforce MLB's commitment to protecting athletes and maintaining player safety throughout the season. League officials understand that baseball is an emotional sport. Hard slides, close plays, and physical collisions have always been part of the game. However, intentionally creating dangerous contact crosses a line that professional baseball cannot afford to ignore. If incidents like this are not addressed firmly, they risk encouraging similar behavior across the league. The timing of the incident also added another layer of concern. The rivalry between the Dodgers and Padres has already developed into one of baseball's most intense matchups. Every series between the two clubs carries playoff-level intensity, passionate fan bases, and enormous media attention. After such a controversial collision, emotions are almost certain to remain high whenever these teams meet again. Future games could become extremely difficult for the umpiring crews to manage. Every inside fastball, every hard tag at second base, every close slide, and every collision on the base paths will now be watched far more carefully than usual. Players on both sides know exactly what happened. That creates the possibility that frustration could carry over into future games. It would take only one retaliatory pitch or one aggressive slide to reignite tensions. A pitcher throwing inside could immediately lead to warnings. A heated exchange between players could empty both dugouts. And within seconds, another bench-clearing confrontation could erupt. That is precisely why many analysts believe MLB must act decisively before the rivalry escalates even further. A clear ruling from the league would remove uncertainty and send a message that retaliation has no place in professional baseball. Without that clarity, emotions could continue building until another dangerous incident occurs. In many ways, the controversy serves as a reminder of how thin the line can be between aggressive competition and unacceptable conduct. Baseball rewards intensity. Players are expected to compete with maximum effort every inning. But protecting opponents from unnecessary danger is equally important. Fortunately for the Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani was able to avoid what could have been a much more serious injury. Still, many believe the outcome should not determine how the play is judged. The fact that Ohtani escaped without significant damage does not automatically make the collision any less dangerous. Moments like these remind everyone throughout Major League Baseball that player safety must always remain the league's highest priority. While debate surrounding the incident continued across baseball, Ohtani gave fans another reason to marvel at his remarkable season. Away from the controversy, the Japanese superstar quietly reached a milestone unlike anything the sport has witnessed in more than a century of Major League Baseball history. His performances throughout June once again demonstrated why he remains one of the most unique athletes professional sports has ever seen. At the plate, Ohtani produced numbers that would satisfy almost any MVP candidate. Over the course of the month, he appeared in 24 games, blasted 8 home runs, drove in 19 runs, batted .333, and posted an outstanding 1.091 OPS. Those statistics alone placed him among the league's most dangerous hitters. Yet Ohtani's greatest strength has never been limited to offense. While delivering elite production with the bat, he was simultaneously taking the mound every fifth day as one of the Dodgers' most reliable starting pitchers. Even while dealing with a blister on the middle finger of his pitching hand during several starts, Ohtani continued producing quality outings. Across 4 starts during June, he pitched 24 2/3 innings, earned 3 victories without suffering a defeat, and finished the month with a 3.28 ERA. For most players, those numbers would represent an excellent month as a starting pitcher. For Ohtani, they came alongside all-star-level offensive production. That combination allowed him to accomplish something never before seen in Major League Baseball history. According to statistical research from OptaStats, Ohtani became the first player ever to hit at least 8 home runs in a single month while also earning 3 or more pitching victories during that same month. The achievement highlights just how unique his value truly is. Most organizations spend hundreds of millions of dollars trying to acquire both a middle-of-the-order slugger and a frontline starting pitcher. Ohtani provides both roles at an elite level while occupying only one roster spot. In many respects, his monthly production resembles two separate all-star players combined into one extraordinary athlete. Unsurprisingly, the historic accomplishment immediately generated enormous attention throughout both the United States and Japan. Fans flooded social media with praise, expressing amazement at yet another milestone in Ohtani's already legendary career. Many commented that he continues to redefine what baseball players are capable of achieving. Others joked that because it's Shohei Ohtani, performances that would seem impossible for anyone else have somehow become routine. Some fans even argued that Ohtani has reached a level where every month seems to produce another record nobody imagined could be broken. Comments describing him as the greatest player of this generation, a once-in-a-century talent, and baseball's ultimate unicorn quickly spread across online platforms. Whether discussing his remarkable offensive numbers, his dominance on the mound, or his ability to make history seemingly every few weeks, one thing remains undeniable. Shohei Ohtani continues to redefine the limits of what a single Major League Baseball player can accomplish, leaving fans and analysts wondering what unprecedented milestone he will reach next. While many athletes would be satisfied with putting together a single outstanding season, Shohei Ohtani continues to operate on an entirely different level. Every year, he seems to redefine what is possible for a modern baseball player, breaking barriers that many experts once believed could never be crossed again. His impact is no longer measured only by statistics. It extends far beyond the baseball diamond, influencing television ratings, ticket sales, merchandise, sponsorships, and the global popularity of Major League Baseball itself. Few players in the history of the sport have combined elite athletic performance with worldwide commercial appeal the way Ohtani has. That reality became even more evident in December 2023. During one of the most closely followed free agency periods in baseball history, Ohtani agreed to a record-breaking 10-year, $700 million contract with the Los Angeles Dodgers. At the time, the agreement was widely viewed as one of the biggest financial commitments ever made in professional sports. Many questioned whether any player could possibly justify such an enormous investment. Less than 2 seasons later, those doubts have largely disappeared. Between sold-out stadiums, increased television audiences, international sponsorships, record merchandise sales, and his unmatched production on the field, many analysts now believe the Dodgers have received tremendous value from the historic contract. Every week seems to provide another example of why the organization was willing to make such an unprecedented commitment. Since arriving in Los Angeles, Ohtani has continued building one of the greatest stretches of baseball ever witnessed. His first season with the Dodgers immediately became historic. In 2024, he delivered an unforgettable offensive campaign, crushing 54 home runs while stealing 59 bases. Never before had a player combined that level of elite power with such dynamic speed over an entire season. The achievement once again demonstrated that Ohtani cannot be evaluated using traditional baseball standards. He continues creating statistical combinations that simply did not exist before his arrival. Instead of slowing down after one remarkable season, Ohtani continued proving his greatness the following year. He maintained his tremendous offensive production by launching another 55 home runs while simultaneously making his long-awaited return to pitching. Despite carefully managing his workload following injury rehabilitation, he still recorded 62 strikeouts on the mound, reminding the baseball world why he remains one of the most dangerous two-way players ever to play the game. What makes these accomplishments even more impressive is that they have translated directly into team success. Baseball has always been measured by championships, and Ohtani has helped transform the Dodgers into the league's dominant franchise. In back-to-back seasons, Los Angeles captured the World Series championship, cementing its place at the top of Major League Baseball. Throughout those championship runs, Ohtani consistently delivered when his team needed him most. His performances earned him consecutive Most Valuable Player awards, making him not only the centerpiece of the Dodgers roster but also the most influential player in the entire league. Winning baseball's highest individual honor while leading a team to multiple championships places Ohtani in extraordinarily rare company. Very few players throughout baseball history have managed to dominate both individually and collectively over such a sustained period. Today, Shohei Ohtani represents far more than simply the Dodgers' biggest superstar. He has become the face of one of the most successful eras in franchise history. He symbolizes excellence, consistency, and the relentless pursuit of championships. Every opposing manager builds a game plan around finding ways to limit his impact, yet very few have been successful. Whether he is standing in the batter's box, sprinting around the bases, or taking the mound with a baseball in his hand, Ohtani changes the complexion of every game he plays. As the current season continues, there are few signs that his remarkable run is slowing down. Despite balancing the demanding responsibilities of serving as both a designated hitter and a starting pitcher gradually returning to a full workload, he continues performing at an elite level on both sides of the game. Maintaining excellence in one role is already incredibly difficult at the major league level. Doing it in two completely different disciplines remains almost unimaginable. Yet Ohtani continues making the extraordinary appear routine. His current pace once again places him among the leading candidates for another Most Valuable Player award. If he continues producing at this level while helping guide the Dodgers toward another postseason run, adding yet another MVP trophy to his collection becomes a very realistic possibility. Perhaps the most remarkable aspect of Ohtani's career is how dramatically expectations have changed. Years ago, fans wondered whether he could successfully become both an elite hitter and an elite pitcher. Now those questions no longer exist. Instead, the conversation has shifted entirely. People are no longer asking whether Shohei Ohtani is capable of making history. They simply wonder which record he will break next. Every month seems to produce another milestone. Every season introduces another accomplishment few believed possible. And with each passing year, Ohtani continues strengthening his legacy as one of the greatest and most unique players the sport has ever known. One thing has become increasingly clear throughout his remarkable journey. Shohei Ohtani is no longer chasing baseball history. He is creating it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share it with the biggest MLB fan you know. More exciting baseball stories are coming soon.